If you're 6 months after ACL surgery and still not running, that's not a time problem. It's a preparation problem. So before you go out there and try to run, you need to understand that the knee needs to absorb and produce force over and over again. And if your knee hasn't been prepared for that, it's gonna go through the cycle of pain and swelling. Hi, my name is Josh Arwanto. I've been a physical therapist and ACL rehab specialist for over 10 years. I've helped over 200 ACL rehabbers get back to sports and running confidently after surgery. And in this video, I'm gonna look at what I would do if somebody was at 6 months or more after surgery and still not able to run. Because most of the time, it comes down to simple things. It's not because they're lazy. It's not that there's something wrong with the knee. It's likely because the rehab plan they're doing is not matching the demands of running. So first, we need to understand what running really is. It's a series of single leg hops over and over again. That means your ankle, your knee, your hips, and your trunk all needs to work together as a chain to make this happen. But before we get to running, we need to assess for two non-negotiables that I look for. First is full knee extension. Because if your knee can't fully straighten yet, then running will only add compensation patterns to your hips, to your lower back, potentially elsewhere. And that's not a problem you want to have, in addition to all the rehab you're already doing for the knee. And number two, I look for a quiet knee. The swelling has to be very minimal and controlled. It's normal to fluctuate swelling day to day, but if you're having big poofs of swelling without it going away after 24 hours, then that might be a sign that your knee is responding poorly to whatever you're doing. So the two non-negotiables are full knee extension and a quiet knee. So if you don't have those things checked off yet, that's where I would start. But if you've already checked those off, then the next thing is to actually look at how we can get you back. And this starts from the ground up. Your foot and ankle are the first things to touch the ground when you try to run. We need to think about building strong springs from the very bottom. So starting from the foot and ankle, and that means having enough strength, endurance, and durability to make sure that you can repeat the single leg hopping, essentially running, hundreds if not thousands of times. This is why you should do plyometrics before you try to run. See, most people get it twisted. They get it backwards. So many people try to run first before starting any type of plyometrics. First, you need to build capacity for your ankle and foot to leave the ground. Then you need to learn how to absorb force. Then after, you need to learn how to produce force quickly, so getting off the ground quickly. So the first thing I usually check for is, do the ankle and calves have enough strength and endurance? I typically like to see 20 or more single leg calf raises with going to full height with the bent knee and straight leg versions. Then I want to see single leg hops, so going up and going forward at least 15 times with good control and good stability. And you also want to compare this to your healthy side because your baseline will look different than someone else's baseline. The second thing I look at are the quads. Yes, the quads. We mention quads all the time. Super important. It's one of the major muscles that is used to get you back to running safely. And it's especially important for deceleration, shock absorption, and controlling forces when you try to run. And don't just look at the quad size. Everybody's worried about quad size and how they compare to your healthy side. There will almost always be a difference, but size doesn't always equal strength. So what you actually got to measure is strength. One easy way that I like to do this is using the leg extension machine. So you find the machine at your gym. We're going to do a 5-rep max test. We're trying to find out what is the max weight that you can do on one leg in 5 reps. For running, I like to see at least a 70% symmetry compared to your other side. This is assuming you have been training the other side through the whole rehab process. Then I also want to see endurance and control. So I like to do a single leg squat or sit to stand test. You're simply going to go up and down from a chair or a workout bench 15 times with good control, comparing it to your other side as well. So now we've measured your quad strength and endurance. And typically you're a lot closer than you think if you've gotten to this stage already. And the last piece is actually getting back to running. What does that actually look like? The key word here is gradual. The knee needs time to gradually accept load. It might be your first time running in 6+ months. So I usually start with running on a treadmill before running outside because those two activities have different mechanical demands and it's easier to start on a treadmill than it is to start outside. The good thing about the treadmill is you can control the speeds. So I like to start somewhere between 4 to 6 miles per hour, or if you're using kilometers, it would be between 7 to 10 kilometers per hour. And you always want to assess the knee right after the run and even the day after. Sometimes it takes 24 to 48 hours for the knee to tell you if it's ready to take on that load or not. And remember, this process is gradual. Make sure you're spacing it out. Give your body and knee time to adapt and heal. So to recap, if you're 6 months after ACL surgery and still not running, it's not because there's something wrong with your knee. It's likely the knee wasn't prepared for the demands of running. So make sure you have full knee extension first. Make sure you have a quiet knee swelling-wise. Build your calf and ankle strength. Build your quad strength and endurance. Get comfortable with plyometrics and hopping. And make sure you do this as a gradual process. Hope this video was helpful. If you are past that early stages of rehab, so you're now within that 4-month, 5-month, 6-month mark, or beyond, and you're looking for a way to get back to running but you're not sure how, I have a free masterclass video that I'll link in the description that explains the process that I use to help a lot of my ACL members. And if you found this video helpful, I would love your support. If you can like and subscribe, it just lets me know that I could keep making videos just like this. I'll talk to you in the next one.